A woman from Long Island who disappeared while on a road trip. Gabby Petito from Blue Point hasn't been heard from since the last week of August. Her family believes she might be over 2,100 miles away in Wyoming. Today, neighbors of her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, revealed police found the van she was traveling in at his home in Northport, Florida. No sign of Gabby, though, and tonight, the fiancé is refusing to cooperate with police.
It started as the dream of a lifetime. A cross-country van trip filled with breathtaking views, national parks, and shared adventures. Gabby Petito and her fiancé Brian Laundrie were young, free, and in love. At least, that's what it looked like on social media. But behind the filters and hashtags, something much darker was unfolding. Gabby's disappearance in 2021 gripped the entire country. It sparked a massive manhunt, an outpouring of support, and a spotlight on the dangers of emotional and physical abuse that can hide in plain sight. What happened to Gabby Petito is more than just a tragic true crime case. It's a story of manipulation, control, and a young woman whose life was stolen far too soon. Gabby Petito was 22 years old. She was vibrant, creative, and loved to travel. She documented her life online, especially through her YouTube channel and Instagram, where she shared updates from the road. She and Brian Laundrie had been dating since high school. In 2020, they got engaged and decided to embark on a months-long road trip across the United States in a white Ford Transit van. Their goal was to see the country's national parks and build their van life content. The trip started in July 2021. At first, everything seemed perfect, but friends and family began noticing tension. Phone calls from Gabby grew less frequent, and there were signs she was under stress. Then came the moment that changed everything. August 12, 2021, in Moab, Utah. A witness called 911, reporting what they believed to be a domestic dispute. The caller said they saw a man slapping a woman near a van. That man was Brian. That woman was Gabby. Police body cam footage from that day shows Gabby crying, visibly distressed.
Just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. I have a blog and stuff, so I've been building my website.
She took responsibility for the fight, downplayed everything, and she said she had anxiety. Brian appeared calm, even joking with officers. Ultimately, the police separated them for the night, but didn't file any charges. Looking back, that video is chilling. It's a moment where things could have gone indifferently. Weeks later, Gabby vanished. She last communicated with her family in late August, on August 27th. A disturbing text was sent from her phone. Her mom said it didn't sound like Gabby at all. By September 11th, her family reported her missing. But what shocked everyone even more, Brian had returned home to Florida, alone. He never told anyone where Gabby was. He refused to speak to police. His parents said nothing, and then, on September 14th, Brian disappeared. The country erupted. Social media exploded with hashtag #FindGabby. Her face was everywhere. People across the nation demanded answers, and her family pleaded for help. On September 19th, 2021, tragedy struck. Gabby's remains were found in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest, near a campsite she and Brian had likely visited. The Teton County coroner later confirmed the cause of death: manual strangulation and blunt force trauma to the head and neck. She had been dead for approximately 3 to 4 weeks. While the Petito family grieved, The search for Brian Laundrie intensified. The FBI searched his home. Crowds gathered outside. News helicopters hovered, but Brian was gone. October 20th, 2021. Laundrie's skeletal remains were found in Florida's Carlton's Reserve.
Also breaking tonight, the FBI says that the skeletal remains found in a nature preserve in Florida on Wednesday are in fact those of Brian Laundrie.
Along with a dry bag, a revolver, and a notebook. He died by suicide, a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But it was what he left behind that made headlines across the world. A handwritten confession. In the notebook, Brian admitted to killing Gabby. He tried to frame it as a tragic accident, claiming Gabby was injured and in pain after they both slipped while hiking. He wrote that he believed she wanted him to end her suffering, and that he did it out of mercy. Here's what he said in his own words. "I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, and it is what she wanted, but I see now all the mistakes I made. I panicked. I was in shock." He claimed he couldn't live without her and planned to take his own life. He wrote that he hoped people would understand, but for the Petito family and the world, it was nothing short of manipulation. There was no mercy in Gabby's death. There was fear. There was control. There was violence. And that notebook confession was the final pieces of a devastating puzzle. Gabby Petito's life should not have ended this way. She was young, full of light, and had her entire future ahead of her. Her murder is a reminder that domestic violence doesn't always look the way we expect. It can hide behind Instagram posts, smiles, and road trip videos. But the signs are often there, in the silence, in the fear, in the tears no one takes seriously. Gabby's story sparked national conversations about domestic violence, emotional abuse, and the need for better intervention. If you or someone you know is in an unsafe relationship, please know you're not alone. Help is out there. We share Gabby's story, not to just remember her, but to raise awareness for others who are still in danger. Let her story be a warning, and let it be a wake-up call. If this video moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep telling the stories that matter. Let's keep remembering the people behind the headlines. And let's keep fighting for a world where no more lives are lost to silence.